Google just released an update to Stitch, and I wanted to check it out and see if it's any good for design. This is their second iteration of it. The first time we tried it, it wasn't that great, so let's take a look. Here I am in the Stitch window, and what I want to do is I've got this website that I've built, and I just vibe coded it, but I don't like these colors. They look okay in the dark mode, but they don't look that great in the light mode. And so I want to see if I can import this into Stitch. So I'm going to grab the URL. They have this new feature that you can add a website. So that's what I'm doing here. And give it any additional instructions like, I want to import this website. It seems like there's a lot more I could do with the design, but in this case, I don't have a design, I just have a website. And you could do this with any website you want, which is actually pretty interesting. And sadly, tools like Figma make this really hard. So I do like this aspect that Stitch is doing this. I'm gonna click on this is for the web, and let's go. AI tools have to process stuff. So it's going to go through the whole processing mode. It's like I'm analyzing the visual style, the landing page, and I basically said build a comprehensive design system, which I kind of wanted to do more than that, but I did think that it would import more of the website. So that was kind of interesting. It just built this little like lockup of fonts and colors that are so far in the site. So let's say, can you import the rest of the website for me into Stitch? I want to see how it looks when I apply changes to the style guide. So it's gonna go, okay, let me think about that. Think. And I cut out some of this stuff because it took a long time to think and collect, but now it's starting to go and it just does a basic first pass. Then it starts grabbing more and more of the content. And this obviously isn't how the website looks. It must do some type of like first HTML strip of just the text, and then it builds out more and more of the design. There it goes. It's kind of tracing it. The kind of seeing it work in action is kind of cool. And it's got the base. This is a really small site. So just to be clear, this is only 3 pages. I didn't test this on if you were a much bigger site. But the interesting thing is I can already tell that this layout is completely different than what I had. And I wasn't expecting that either. If you go to HTML to code and bring that in as a plugin into Figma and you put in the link, you're gonna get your site out as a Figma file that looks just like it or very, very near like it. But this is like completely coming up with a lot of different stuff that's not in my site. Like that first page on the left that's like the blog page, I guess, that's got blogs. Mine's just cards. So that's kind of interesting. So, okay. So here's my calculator page. That's the main page on my site. That's way different. The calculator is different. But what I really was trying to do is just change the button text to not look, it kind of had a little dark. It didn't look like electric. I wanted like an electric blue. So in this panel, I can open up and maybe I can change the color here. That's what I want. Let's just, okay, I know I probably don't want neon green or that bright of green, but kind of want either the green or the turquoisey color. So I'm gonna try that. And I'm thinking it is going to do it to the button. And one thing that's a little much is that it like the whole your design disappears and then it does more stuff. I kind of don't love that. Whoa. What just happened? So technical precision applied button, but it didn't. Like the button is still turquoise and everything else is like weird colors of green, like light green, like light mint or something. That's not what I expected. Okay, so can you undo that change? I don't think I like that. So let's just start over. Okay, so it's rewriting again. So it can't even just undo simple color changes. It's got to rewrite everything again. And now it did, that's weird. I said undo, and the button I originally wanted to be green is now green. So it's almost like somehow it did what I wanted when I said undo. I don't know. That's friggin' weird. A few things I do like about this. I do like that it put all of the pages on the canvas. That's very much like Figma. You can just zoom in, zoom out, see everything you've got. If there's more pages, you can check them out and have the big picture of what you're trying to design. That's pretty cool. This little brand thing's okay. Yeah, there's only so much to the site, but I don't really love it. And figuring out how to really impact stuff is a little bit weird through this menu. Like there's your basic color palette, and it's got some options like content versus, like you would think if you change the primary color, but the buttons aren't primary though on the right, those are secondary. That's kind of weird in terms of like the way the site originally looked. If it says primary on the left, but then the button over in the right in the third column says primary, and that's darker, like a darker one, it's not really using its primary. It's using an alt primary. So it's kind of hard to know what you're gonna get, and I don't really like that. That's kind of an odd lavender, so let's go for something maybe a little more blue. So thinking again, some more thinking. All right, so now I am back to, yeah, I don't know, these colors are weird. So it's definitely, it's got the color I did, but I don't really see where that blue is showing up. It still has kind of a light mint color that isn't, it's not, there's, so here's the site I had, right? I mean, this is the Learn page. You can see it was a much more simple page. So, I mean, there are neat things about it. That's the About page. That's not the, so here's that Learn page I was just on. I mean, this layout's nice. I could maybe utilize some of this to go, how could I improve my overall content to be more interesting? That's cool. But yeah. So, okay, what else can I do? I can export this. So I can export this to AI Studio or Figma or MCP, zip, a little code to project brief, and you write more there. Build with AI Studio, what's that? Let's see what that does. Okay, so skip that, don't need to watch a video. Build your ideas with Gemini. So Gemini is gonna build this. Okay, so this is basically gonna work like any AI tool that's gonna bring everything together, build it into a website. I guess while I'm waiting, it's got some different things I can check out here. It's got, let's enjoy these tips while you wait. Let's see what's over here. Okay, so it's gonna run for a little bit. Pull your app, analyze it, convert text to speech, give your app a voice. That's interesting. Control image aspect ratios, add database and auth, add responsive design. That's kind of interesting. I mean, I would think that part of its agent would have the responsive design, but maybe not. How to deploy your app, incorporate image captions, explore the app gallery, add low latency responses, generate video from text. That's kind of interesting. Video preview. Okay, so the preview is still building, but it does look like everything's done. But more tips. Implement responsive design for the app. That's cool. That's important stuff to do. I'm not gonna, because it's still working, I'm not gonna ask it to do that. I might just copy that and save that for later. Okay, what's in this window? Chat settings. So that's about how you can chat, what model. Share, publish. Just publishing your, what is publish? App versions. So if you have, I guess that's version history, integrations. That's kind of interesting. I guess you could bring in, I don't know what you bring in for your email, but maybe video, files. Files could be cool. Secrets, GitHub, sign into GitHub to continue. I mean, that's pretty cool. So what's that doing? That would allow you to upload all of this to branches and to deploy. Okay, well it's done. Let's see here. Okay, so here's the site it built. Again, this looks even different than what it looked like before. Let's try it. I guess it's using my stuff, but I don't know what it's really pulled. There's more models from Ford there, so it's just dummying the data, even though it had all my data, and I can mess around with it. So, I mean, this is odd. I already had a working site, and it's kind of rebuilding it for me in a completely different way, which, I mean, this would be cool if you were trying to figure out some different ideas and go, hey, I don't really like this. But if you were trying to straight up, like, I want to make design improvements to what I've got, and it did this, that's not great. Maybe you need to give it, maybe it's just a thing about the prompt being better. I might try this again with a different experience and see what happens. I'm gonna check out what this thing is. This is a file. My current website doesn't have this, so you can. It's an utility audit report. That's kind of interesting. Like, I don't know. You could maybe use that data for more. There's the Learn Hub. But this is nice. I mean, this is a more engaging kind of blog or reading informative experience about EVs than mine is. That's kind of cool. So I might implement some of this at some point. And then honest about. It's just about honest about. Are you being honest about you? Okay, so yeah, let's see here. Add dark mode, toggle to the app. So again, this thing's already lagging pretty hard. I should probably turn that off and not let it go through all dark mode, because I already have dark mode in my site. I don't need to waste more credits. So everything you do, you're gonna spend credits doing. So just be aware of that. Like, oh, all those suggestions. I don't know if they're intended to have you burn credits, but maybe. But that's cool. You could make changes from voice, from video. Not really sure. There's some different ideas there. That's kind of interesting. That was my first experience using Google Stitch, Gemini Stitch. I don't know how you're supposed to call it. It's cool, but look, I'm a design director, and some of that stuff I couldn't figure out easily. Like what it was gonna do, I didn't really understand how it was gonna impact the pages and the design. The things I did really like about it, I liked that it did it all in the canvas. I like all those things on the right panel that were like publish and GitHub, like Figma, where are you at? Why do you not have that? I think the frustrating thing for me is that Figma could have done this a year ago and they didn't. Like the whole import from a website, like why do I have to get a plugin that some third party makes to do that, just to bring in a code thing? They have different tools that allow you to do it now, but what took them so long? I don't really know. It's not prime time for designers. If you were a serious designer trying to do this stuff, I think you'd probably be pretty frustrated pretty fast. If you are trying to just come up with ideas, definitely pretty cool. Concerned about the amount of tokens it's going to use to do some basic stuff. That stuff's pretty labor intensive. Anytime you're dealing with images or building things, you might burn through whatever level of credits you have pretty fast. Yeah, I'm not sure who their target audience is. I think this is my guess, but they built that layer to do different things already, and so they're like, hey, we can just turn this into a product and have people use it, because that's probably how they structured their thing to build websites for people based on visual designs or something. It's probably some back-end tooling that was pretty easy to add a front-end layer on and then start to compete with Figma, which like I'll bet in 2 years it's pretty amazing. I just think right now it's not ready for prime time. So I'm not going to use it, but I'll probably goof around with it a little bit more in some other videos. If you'd like to see me demo something in Google Stitch or another tool, let me know in the comments. If you like this, I'd love a thumbs up or subscribe, because I'm trying to figure out what people are into on this channel. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching.